Hi everybody, my name is Allie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I want to do a video where you guys are a little bit more involved. That camera looks weird. If you don't follow me on Instagram, after watching this video, you should, because I feel like I will probably do this again just to bond with you guys a little bit more. But you guys are controlling what I read for a week. Whether that ends up being a book a day or 3, I don't know. It just depends on how long it takes me to read them. But I'm going to be putting up polls between different books and letting people that follow me on Instagram choose what I read. And this will be a way of basically forcing myself to get through my TBR. I'm very much a mood reader, so half the times I'll buy a book and it will sit there for 6 months and I'll never read it. It's a good way for you to like bond with me, and like you can, if it's a book that you really like, you can make me want to read it if the book that you chooses wins. And yeah, you get it. Our first battle is going to be between Wicked Beauty and Fortuna Sworn. So Wicked Beauty is a modern Greek mythology retelling. I've read the first 2, Neon Goddess and Electric Idol, smut books. Yeah, it'll be a quick read because I think I've read the first 2 in a day, and they're smut books and I love them, and it's a good series. If you have not read it, I suggest it highly. And then Fortuna Sworn, which I really don't know that much about. I believe it's like fantasy romance, but I'm not necessarily sure if it's YA or like NA. I feel like I've heard people say that it's almost like lightly checked trigger warnings. But these are both new purchases. I got these both from my most recent book haul video if you want to go back and check that out. This is going to go up on my Instagram as a poll right now, and we will see who wins. So my first poll is officially up and live. Fortuna Sworn and Wicked Beauty. I don't think I'll be necessarily disappointed about which one wins, but it is 7 o'clock at night, so I will probably check the finale of this poll, or like the final decision, when I get out of work tomorrow, and that will be our first book of the week. And we're back. It's the next day. The poll has been up for like 22 hours and it's pretty much stayed the same. It's only fluctuated by like 1 vote, like 2% type thing. So it is safe to say, in the battle between Wicked Beauty and Fortuna Sworn, our first book that you guys have chosen for me to read will be Fortuna Sworn. So this is a fairly short book, so I honestly feel like I could get this done in a day, but we'll be back. Sir, what are you doing? Stop trying to eat my curtain. Bro. I have officially finished Fortuna Sworn. Only took a couple hours, which I'm not surprised about. This book was under 300 pages. I would say that this is like a 3.5 star for me. I didn't know that there was more books to this. I feel like if I wasn't doing this video, I would buy the next books and continue reading it. It was pretty good. I'm not mad about this recommendation or this choice by you guys. The force of my hand. It is time to go pick 2 more books to choose from for our next poll. Let us go to the TBR cart and pick out what will be next. Okay, so I have some options. So I have Laid Up Secrets by Trishan Leverseller, and then I was also thinking These Hollow Vows are Raven Boys, but these are all like YA fantasy type. So then I was also thinking about Daisy Hates, putting that as an option. It's the second book in Magnolia Parks, which I loved that book. I might do Daisy Hates in one of these 3. I just have to decide which one. All right, so newest poll is live, and I decided to make it between Daisy Hates, and then up against it, I ended up going with Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levenseller, because I know the least about this book. This was a super random purchase, so I feel like out of all those books I was deciding between, this one will probably have like the most chance of just sitting there forever and not getting read. If this gets chosen, this will probably be the easiest way for me to read it they'll probably wait till tomorrow to see what the results is. If there's some big back and forth, I'll keep you updated as the night goes on, but we are between Daisy Hates and Blade of Secrets. So I feel like Daisy Hates is gonna win. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. We're back. It is the next day. We have poll results between Blade of Secrets and Daisy Hates. I was completely wrong. The winner is Blade of Secrets. 3 or 4 people voted for Daisy Hates, so I was completely wrong. So my next book from you guys will be Blade of Secrets. We'll jump right into that. Different location, but we have finished Blade of Secrets. This was surprisingly really good. This was like a 4-star for me. It is apparently a duet, so I will most likely get the second one. It was surprisingly really good. I'll get more into it at reading wrap up of the month time. Newest poll is live, and I decided to have you choose between One Last Stop, which is LGBTQ romance, and House Across the Lake, because I feel like I say all the time that I have so many thrillers and never read them. So let's see if you guys force me to read them. I think House Across the Lake is gonna win, just because romance didn't win last time. Hi, it is the next day. It is also very late at night because I just got done working a 12-hour shift. Next poll is done, and I was correct. The incredibly clear winner is House Across the Lake. So that will be my next read. So we'll jump right into that. It's the next night. We have Nuggies, and we have finished the book. All in all, I liked it until the end. The end ruined it for me. It turned out to be a paranormal thriller, which I'm not a super big fan of. Paranormal thrillers are the equivalent of like, it was all a dream stories. They don't hit for me. So this is probably like a 2-star for me. It was like a mediocre 3 because before it turned to paranormal, it was just kind of like wordy and repetitive. Like I feel like every chapter they reiterated the same point over and over again. It's like, we get it, this person's dead. So it was just kind of like wordy and bleh, but the paranormal thing brought it down a whole point. Not my favorite thriller. I'm not surprised that it's been on my TBR for this long, but tonight is Tuesday. I started this week of you guys picking my books on Thursday. Pretty much this poll is going to be up all day Wednesday. So if anything, I might be able to start the book that is picked Wednesday night and finish it Thursday. This next poll, this next thing of books, is probably going to be my last poll and set of books for this video. So I gotta pick some good ones for our final poll. So I have my final 2 book poll books picked. I basically picked the categories that have been winning the most, which has been thriller and fantasy. Romance hasn't won a single poll. So I picked 1 thriller and 1 fantasy from my shelf, ones that have been on there for like a long time. Try and get those out of the way. So for thriller, I picked Killers of a Certain Age. From what I know about this, it's like assassins, but when they're old and in a nursing home. So I think it's like thrillery action, but also a little bit like comedic. And then for fantasy, I picked a book that has been on my TBR since I think I started this channel. Like I got this book in a haul in one of my very first videos, and I still have not read it. I have the second book too, and haven't even read the first one, and that's Onyx and Ivory. I figured if this wins, it'll force me to read it. I've had it for over a year at this point, and it's been on my TBR this whole time. This I've had for a couple months and haven't read it yet, but either way, books that have been there for a while. Onyx and Ivory is gonna win. I feel like between a poll of thriller and fantasy, my follower is going to choose fantasy. We're back yet again in the battle between Onyx and Ivory and Killers of a Certain Age. I was incorrect. The winner, by a lot, is Killers of a Certain Age. My next and final book of you guys choosing my books is Killers of a Certain Age. finished Killers of a Certain Age. This was probably like another 3-star. I liked it. I liked the comedy aspect to this whole thing, but there was just something missing. I felt like I didn't connect with the characters a lot. There were some parts that really dragged for me. Like, I thought the beginning was kind of slow. It was alright. I didn't hate it. This was officially our last book that Instagram and you guys have recommended me to read. So in total, we did 4 books for a week. Isn't bad, especially considering the fact that I had to wait a solid 24 hours before I could figure out which books to read. 4 books for a week with waiting. I feel like it's pretty good. In total, we did 2 thriller and 2 fantasy. Anytime I put up a romance poll, it lost. So my Instagram followers are not fans of romance. It knocked some of my thrillers off my shelf, which I always say I have too many of. So that was good. I feel like I might do another video like this sometime in the future. I really enjoyed this. I am a mood reader, so a lot of times books will sit on my TBR for quite literally years before I read them, and something like this basically makes me read them, whether I'm in the mood for it or not, is good sometimes. So I don't know, maybe every couple months I'll do something like this to help me clean out my TBR, and I really liked having something that you guys were a little bit more involved in. I might start doing videos of like specific books you want recommendations for, or you guys recommend your favorite books and I'll read them, because I just want you guys to be involved a little bit more. But thank you guys for doing this with me and helping me pick my books. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it. If you didn't participate in this video because you weren't following me on Instagram, it is linked down below so you can. I'm sure I will do this again sometime in the future. Down below, along with my Instagram, is the rest of my social media if you want to follow me anywhere else. Down below is also my Amazon wishlist and my PangoBooks. If you want to send me any books that are on there, they might end up in a new poll video if they do not get read right away. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me and helping me with this video. I love you so much. Please stay safe, and I will see you guys somewhere else on the internet. Bye.